Hi and welcome to this week's Something for the Weekend. I'm Tony, Sales Manager here at Martin Lynch & Sons. Now before we get started this week, a little bit of insider news for you from Martin Lynch & Sons. Our Operations Director, Martin's son Dan, which I'm pretty sure some of you know from the open days, has just returned from Japan, and we were really excited to be invited out to Japan from Yaesu, Icom and Kenwood, and we have got some news coming for you, but you're going to have to wait for that. Anyway, a little bit of news you can have now. GB3 MLR repeater is back on air, and it's back on air for analog voice and also for fusion. Now it's not connected to the internet yet, we're just running some tests at the moment, but please feel free to use it. Henry will put some details up with regards to the frequencies and access codes, but it's there for you, so let's get it up and running properly. Right, moving on, Henry. We've got a very, very special radio on this week's used selection. However, you're going to have to wait for that. Some of you have been clever and maybe have spotted it earlier on in some pictures, but for now, it's coming at the end. Right, let's get things started, Henry, and we're going to kick it off with one of my favourites, as you all know, Kenwood's TS-890S. This lovely HF 6 and 4 metre 100 watt transceiver. A little bit of information with regards to this. Obviously, it's Kenwood's current flagship for the moment. Oh, is that a little bit of inside information for you? With this, you do need a power supply. So I had a lot of customers that get a little bit confused with this and think you can plug it into your mains. No. You are going to need a power supply with this. So best thing to do is take a look at maybe something like a Diamond power supply or one of the Samlex power supplies. In fact, I'd probably go for a Samlex power supply because they are lovely and quiet, which is what you want when you're running an 890. So as I said, TS-890S used, you're going to save a heap of money buying this used. So weigh it up, think, is it going to go wrong? Probably not, it's a Kenwood. Do I really need that longer warranty? Probably not. So put a few extra pounds into your pocket or maybe go on a little de-expedition. Okay, moving along, Henry, we're going to go over to this side here. Talking of power supplies, got this lovely Microset PC-134. Okay, so this is currently up at 179. However, this week, I'm going to do something a little bit special for you. Yes, we're just going to give you 5% off most of the items anyway. And on some other items, let's push it a little bit further. I've been given the special pencil from the big man, and it's going to be 10%, maybe even 15, 20% off some of the used items that we have in stock. Okay, moving along, Henry. Icom's IC-7300, we all know about the 7300, HF 6 and 4 meters, just a very, very simple radio to use, but being simple doesn't mean that it's not any good. It just means that you can spend more time concentrating on the stations coming in, and the performance of this, as we all know, is very, very current in 2025. So these are $949. I remember when I done you a very special price, so get onto that used section, have a little search, and someone's going to get an absolute bargain this weekend. Okay, Henry, moving along, Icom's ID-5100. Now, there's a lot of 2 metre and 77s radios that have been coming out recently. The 5100 has been out for quite a while now. Good thing with this one is it is dual receive, so you can actually control both sides, your A and your B, so you can monitor your local repeater, you can monitor your simplex channels on the other side. Now with the remote head, it just makes it easy to put into your shack. You can put the main RF unit away, just have your head unit mounted up, maybe use one of the suction mounts that we've seen before, pop it on your desk, got loads of desk space for your HF station. Okay, moving across, Henry, we're going to go to the FTM-400XDE. This is the predecessor to all of your sort of 500s, your 510s that you've seen on the videos with David. £350, brilliant. Built-in GPS as standard, great if you're doing APRS. And yeah, not really much more I can say about that. It's been around for a long time, it works, buy it. Okay, Henry, moving across, we are going to look at this MFJ 993B tuner. As you all know, sadly, MFJ is no longer with us. That's the company, not the owner. And 300 watts power basically on this tuner for HF. And the good thing with this, yes, it's an auto tuner, it's an IntelliTuner. However, you can manually change everything if need be. And that's up at $299 on the sticker price. But don't forget, I've got that magic pencil. You're going to have to go and take a look. Okay, moving across, Henry. In fact, I'm going to go here, because I always walk past this, and I should really show it. Got Got a Yaesu radio? Yeah? Okay, take a look at this. We've got this lovely Heil PR-781 in black and gold. And it comes with the prism mount as well. Comes with all the relevant cables which will connect you to a Yaesu 8-pin radio. So you can see that there, Henry. And obviously you can put your foot switch on here, or hand switch. Now this is up at $399, and that's a great saving if you were to buy that all separately. And it is like brand new. I've checked it, there's no biscuits in the microphone, because we know what you like with a cup of tea and a biscuit in a shack. And it's in beautiful condition. So get that, pop that on your desk. Maybe you've bought a 101. You want to pop that with your 101. Definitely one to look at. Okay, moving across, Henry, talking of microphones, Kenwood's MC60A. Yes, you like the 890. Why not grab this MC60 microphone? And again, at 129, that's going to be discounted again, but you will have to check the website for that price. Moving along, or up I should say, Expert Electronics Sun SDR2DX. Now, I've had a lot of emails in regarding this one. It is an earlier version. Don't believe everything you read on the internet. This one has actually been supported by the manufacturers. It's all been fully tested, all fully working. Up at $14.99. Again, going to absolutely slash the price on this. If you want to get a decent 100-watt SDR transceiver, then that's a good way of doing it, especially if you're doing the expeditions or maybe even POTO and you want a little bit more power. Okay, going across, Henry. Did you buy one of those DX1200s that we had? You know, the ones that were really reasonably priced? Struggling with your antenna with the tuner? We've got a couple of LDG YT1200s in stock now. And these will literally be plug and play into your FTDX1200. Also, if you check the website, these can be used on some of the later Yaesu radios as well. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. I should do, but it has been a while since we stocked these as new. Okay, now moving across, we're going to take a look at this FTDX3000. Yes, you've seen them before. I always buy them in because they're just a solid radio. We can buy them in, we can sell them for under £1,000. You're getting a really high quality HF transceiver. And for me, it's even better because they never go wrong, which is basically what we want as a retailer. And as for you, for a customer, you can pop it on your shelf. You know you can go back 3-4 months later, switch it on, it's just going to work as it should do. But they are a great radio. When you look at the price of some of the new radios, yes, they're fairly cheap, but under £1,000 for that. They were £2,000 plus to begin with. Okay, Henry, we're going to move across to the 590s. We've got S's, we've got SGs. I keep buying them in. I really do. I can't stop buying them for some reason. Martin keeps saying to me, can you stop buying 590s, Tony? However, they come in and they go fairly quickly, which is good. And again, it's like the 3000. They're a solid radio, simple to use. And you're getting a huge saving. I mean, this is at $12.99 on the sticker. New, £1,600, so straight away a massive saving. And as I keep saying on this week's show, I'm going to knock those sticker prices out of the park. You're going to get some really good savings this week. Okay, moving from there, Henry, there's one more thing I wanted to show you, which is a Microset SR500. So this is in very, very good condition and not a large footprint on this. So if you've got quite a small shack, probably the ideal solution for you to get a little bit of extra power on 2 meters. However, please, please, please do not try and do 500 watts FT8 with these linears. It's just not going to work, and we're going to know you've done it. We're going to know. Anyway, remember at the start when I mentioned we had a very special radio to show you? Henry, if you'd like to look over to here. Here it is. It's Yaesu's FTDX9000MP Limited. And yes, it's the PP upgrade version. This one actually comes with the really cool blue lights, which was a factory option. You'll probably know that Martin had a few of these. For those of you that don't know and haven't seen any of the previous videos, this was a retirement present for Martin. Martin hasn't really fully retired. He's kind of only semi-retired. So fair game, as Martin always said to me, if it's in the showroom, it can be sold. So yeah, I basically kept selling Martin's one of these, and it's going to be the same with this. One of you is going to be very, very lucky and get to own this lovely FTDX9000MP. So as standard, 400 watts. You might look at the price and think, that's a lot of money, Tony. However, if you're going to buy yourself a 101, then you're going to buy yourself a linear. It's all going to start adding up and you're not going to be far off the price. Now, these are all beautifully handcrafted and everything is just wonderful. I mean, if you look at the shroud on here, you're not going to get that on a modern radio. You're really not going to get that. This comes fully boxed. As I said, it is the limited edition. It was basically the flagship of all flagships when it came to Yaesu radios. So inside this, we have all of the MTU units. So you've got all your mechanical filters. When you power it up, it makes a lovely growling noise while the filters all adjust. And it just oozes quality, it really does. It comes with the power supply and built-in speaker. As you can see, we've got all of the filtering functions here, high cut, low cut, on whether you're running your A or your B side. And talking of A and B, yes, obviously it's dual receive. And the other really kind of trick part with this DX9000 is the dual receive is a true dual receive. Now you're probably saying, yeah, a lot of radios do that, Tony. No, this one, both receivers are exactly the same. So if you're contesting and you've got your antenna set up, you're going to know that whatever you're going to hear on A, you're definitely going to hear on B. There's none of this kind of lesser standard receiver on the sub receiver. So they're exactly the same receivers on this, and it's just a perfectly handcrafted Yaesu radio. So all I can say is be quick. It does have the box on it. If you're looking at shipping costs and you're thinking, oh, it's going to be quite expensive for us to ship and there's taxes, etc. if you're outside of the UK, then I'll probably say, why not just book a flight? I mean, by the time if you're living in Europe, you're probably going to get a cheap, EasyJet Ryanair flight, be able to fly over here and then ship this back for a lot less than the shipping cost, that's for sure. And you get to have a holiday and you get to come and see the showroom as well, which is great. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. And before I go, just a quick reminder, the repeater is back on air. We will be having some news from Japan very, very soon, but you are going to have to wait for that. Just one more thing before we go. Look over there, Henry, if you can see behind me. There's some room on the shelves. So if you want to buy this FTDX9000, just an example, then we have room for your used equipment. So please get it sent in to us. We'll give you a very, very fair price for it. We'll get it all checked out. If you do want to get it checked out on the day, then what I will say is please contact me first. Obviously with the engineers being in and out, we need to make time for you, but we will do our best, that's for sure. Anyway, we'll see you very, very soon, and thanks for watching.